For a rarely used prosecutor's box, it gets friggin' dirty over here. There's debris and trash everywhere.
Well, maybe you should hire additional crew.
Or maybe you should go to hell.
Nice.
Damn pizza crumbs. That red-headed one will face my wrath one day. I swear it!
Couldn't you just, teleport another pizza?
That's the principle of the matter. You wouldn't understand.
Yes, I'm sure.
Besides, with this track record, I'd be surprised if the teleporter didn't bring in someone random. You know what? Screw it. I'll prove it. Was I wrong?
Duly noted.
Oh, come on. Will the universe at least let me finish Comics Month?
That was one hell of a party. Where am I?
A cool room, but I haven't done anything wrong. Hey, isn't that voice of reason? Oh, hey there, new guy. Name's British Brony. Not the British Brony, but a British Brony. So what are you guys doing here?
Oh great, more vagrants to squat on my ship. Just perfect.
Wait, don't I know you from somewhere?
What are you talking about?
Weren't you at BronyCon dressed up like Vinyl Scratch meets Jeff Hardy?
Oh, that's, what you're talking about.
Wait, now I remember. You were part of the mob!
Well, we did shut down that escalator and don't.
Ha!
Why exactly am I here?
Call it a failure of engineering. Just give the ship some time and the teleporter should be all charged and ready to go and then I'll send you back to wherever you all came from.
Oh great, now what are we supposed to do?
Well, we are reviewers, so are we reviewing something?
Well, I was just about to tear into the mysterious Mare duel and...
Well, I could join in for defending it, even though it's not really my favorite episode.
I second that. I really like that episode. Don't know why most of the fandom hates it, though.
Well, allow me to be the prosecution to why this episode deserves the hate it gets.
You're wrong, this episode isn't nearly as bad as others think.
Bullcrap! This is the worst episode of Season 2!
Praise the Mare duel and her epic costume, and praise Rainbow Dash for being responsible at the end.
Speed lines are cool!
I hear it's amazing when the famous giant purple stuff work in Blackjaw's face, but the tuning fork does a round link on Harry Carey Rock. I need scissors 61.
Silence! Now then, are both parties ready to proceed?
Why would you do that?
Excellent. Now then, we can begin with a cross-examination. Rainbow Dash rescues the citizens of Ponyville from multiple disasters.
Hold it! Our episode starts with Scootaloo running a club dedicated to Rainbow Dash. I've got to say, the animators have done a sweet job recreating a typical Brony's Best Pony shrine. Oh look here, promotional Rainbow Dash poster.
Hold it! I can completely see Scootaloo doing this, and even getting others to follow Rainbow. We then get to the next part of the episode where we see Rainbow save a little filly from a well. I love this because it makes it seem like Rainbow's bloating ego later on in the episode is earned rather than happening for no reason.
Ah, the classic Timmy stuck in the well gag. Never gets old.
Hold it!
Looks like my Skyrim will have to wait.
So Dash saves the day and the town praises her rescue. She surprisingly acts humble and shrugs it off as just something minor, setting up her characterization we explore more in this episode. Though before we go on, we do have to address how Ponyville is now the most dangerous city in Equestria. We see Rainbow save the townsfolk from dangerous cliffs, shoddy masonry. How about a town built near the bottom of the hydroelectric dam? Hosha would have a field day. This is a minor nitpick, but I do have a problem with this episode's setting. I don't mind the writers playing with the landscape when it makes sense, with what's been previously established, but when you add alterations such as part of the town sitting on a cliff and building what can only be a skyscraper, you start to mess with the established town setting of it being a somewhat hilly rural area. I'm watching this and I have no idea where the majority of these places are in relation to the rest of the town. I know they played a lot with the setting in the past, but the locations in this episode just seem really out of place to me.
Hold it! While I can see where you're coming from, I have to disagree. I don't think that it's the setting of the town that makes it dangerous. It's the actual townsfolk acting like complete idiots. This entire episode, and this isn't anything new, the town tends to just go by what the script tells them to do.
Actually, I like the setting. I know, it's weird being on the prosecution, but I actually like the setting they depict here. It's one of Meriwether Williams' strengths, as I mentioned in my Bats review. What comes next, however...
Hey, you're my co-counsel. You're supposed to agree with me. Judge, my co-counsel shares different views than me. Can you penalize him?
Yes, that's all fine and dandy. Play nice with the other children now. Yeah.
Hey, if Voice had something nice to say on the episode, he's entitled to his own opinion. I mean, sure, Rainbow was acting a bit jerky, but that's in her character. At least the character before Wonderbolt's Academy. And because of this, it gave Twilight and the others a reason to teach her a lesson.
Objection! Actually, this is where the episode starts to fall apart. As I mentioned in my Dragon Quest review, the plots in Meriwether Williams episodes have certain tropes that appear. One of them is character exaggeration. Now, we have seen this in other episodes with Rainbow's ego, like the previous episode, May the Best Pet Win. However, with that episode, it was played firmly tongue-in-cheek, so the bloated ego I can let slide. Here, everything is taken seriously to the point where lives are at stake.
Dash is just soaking in the praise, making her ego skyrocket, posing for pictures, signing autographs, and generally becoming more brash, with the rest of the main six taking notice of Dash's behavior, where the only thing she's missing is entrance music. Despite how cocky she's become, this is actually a believable character progression, as we previously seen her display such boastful traits like in Sonic Rainbow, and it's natural for anyone to be swept up in such attention and let it go to their head.
Wait, didn't you just disagree with your co-counsel about?
I do what I want, damn it!
Hold it. Then how would you have this go downhill exactly?
Play it like Darkwing Duck. Have the hero have the inflated ego, but the danger be more cartoony and non-life-threatening.
Yeah, I guess I could buy that scenario, but we'll cover that more later, as we see a new hero has arrived.
The mysterious Mare becomes the town hero, saving the citizens of Ponyville.
Hold it! First, let's introduce this hero. She is the terror that trots through the night. She is the one who reigns on your hip parade. She is Mysterious Mare. Try to tell me that isn't the coolest design you've ever seen in your life.
The design for Mare is awesome. Cool, dark colors, awesome hat, and overall mysterious demeanor are an amalgamation of Darkwing Duck and Batman, including such similar iconography on posters or orchestral scores from Batman the Animated Series. And the orchestral scores in this episode was generally pretty epic.
Well, look who's taken a liking to this episode. You're being entertained.
While I dislike the overall flow of this episode, when there is something good, I will address it. For example, Mare is the perfect antithesis for Dash, rescuing citizens and outperforming her in agility, speed, strength, which leads Dash to become desperate for the spotlight, even leading to her ultimate embarrassment being saved by her rival. Not only setting up the good part of the moral, we'll crack open that later, but also sets up her competition with Lightning Dust we see later on in Wonderbolt's Academy, and her coinciding character development of her realization and acceptance that there will always be someone better than you. You'll notice I'm speeding through this review or referring to other episodes more than this one. This is because one of the biggest sins I found with this episode is just how dull it is, both from a dramatic and comedic standpoint. Despite all these grandiose disasters and heroics going on, I just don't feel invested. It's repetitive and boring. Dash's antics to try to win the town back aren't funny, it's just painful. Other than Rainbow Dash's character progression, which is actually an interesting element, it's swept under this episode's poor execution.
Are you sure we're meant to be here? Sounds like you got a bit of this covered, Cody Wody.
Don't insult me, I have an attorney's badge.
It's a paper cutout that says Made in Beijing.
Shut up!
Order in the court!
Yeah, whatever. You have anything to say about this section, Mr. Reason?
Still think the name is stupid. Mare Duel, Nair Duel, really?
Wow, you guys have so little points that you are grasping at pointless flaws.
Oh, don't worry, we're saving our big stuff for what comes later.
Right. Anyways, I think this scene with Mare Duel saving the one pony in the balloon was well done in setting up Mare Duel as both a hero and a rival to Rainbow Dash, which was a good character setup.
Hold it! Well, I would say this was a decent mystery to who really was behind the cowl, until we got to the hydroelectric dam. Rainbow Dash decides to be proactive and stop the dam from leaking. Unfortunately, this is not the same story as the Dutch kid who stuck his finger in a dam to prevent flooding, and the pressure builds bursting the dam. But who saves Rainbow Dash from drowning? By the way, awesome camera movement during the river rush. But Mare Twilight. Oh, okay, now we know who Mare Duel is. It's just the rest of the girls.
Wait a minute. I do have a leg up on her. And that leg is wings! Ha! Take that, Mare Duel!
And cue Fluttershy. Yeah, this episode went from intriguing to predictable.
You know, if they did this episode in season 4, Twilight could do this routine all by herself.
Objection. Yeah, during season 4, Twilight could have flown, but remember, this isn't season 4. So bringing up that Twilight could have done it if it were season 4 is absolutely pointless.
Dude! Objection on your own side?
What? What's going on? Why is everyone switching sides and the clouds being a riddle? Are
Are you sure you're a qualified judge? Judge who looks like MasterCode with a beard?
Wintergreen beard and mane over here. Here's this obviously pine green.
And I'm white and he's off-white. Get it right.
Can we please move on to the scene at Sugar Cube Corner?
Yes, please, before I lose any more of my sanity.
What sanity do you have left, exactly? That's what I thought.
Here is where the episode fails again and how tedious this whole charade is, hammering that you shouldn't let praise go to your head when we already get it the first time. Speaking of repetitive, the dialogue feels so contrived, like the mayor's exposition of Mare telling the audience who she is even though she's never seen her before, or going back to the scenes of the Rainbow Dash cult spewing every adjective under the sun to describe how awesome she is. It's just tiresome. But the icing on the cake is this whole dialogue exchange in Sugar Cube Corner, which is just painful to sit through. Regardless of the ending reveal, the main 6 here are acting like complete jerks, as they're essentially mocking their best friend and saying that she's completely inferior to Mare in every way, praising all their successes and saying that they're better than her, all the while shoving the message of humility in the audience's face. It's all just so wrong.
Objection!
Yes, Mr. British?
Sorry, just wanted to do that.
Get on with it!
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it!
Objection!
This one had better be good.
Oh, shut up, Judge. Anyways, I don't see the main 6 boasting like that as being jerkish. I see it as them trying to deflate her ego, as I don't think actually talking to Rainbow would do anything at this point.
Objection! Yeah, and how old did that turn out? Oh yeah, the remaining 5 sent Rainbow Dash farther down the rabbit hole instead of showing her how much of a jerk she's been. Honestly, going behind your friend's back and subtly treating her like crap is vindictive and downright evil of the girls to do to their friend.
I didn't say that the remaining 5 were smart here. I'm just saying that I don't think they were jerks. They were just trying to deflate Rainbow so that she would listen to reason.
And talking about it directly was not an option?
No, I don't think it was at this point. I don't think Rainbow would have listened, and I think it showed that she wouldn't listen to reason at that point.
Whoa, guys, chill. Eat some sponsored Snicker bars.
Lighthill Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers, get some nuts.
Well, anyways, moving on, the next couple of scenes are the normal hero tries to get back in the limelight scenes, with Rainbow trying to reclaim her hero status. While this is something that has been done quite a bit, I think it serves more purpose here to set up Rainbow's main downfall at the parade held for Mare Duel.
Hold it! Yeah, I couldn't find this funny. No joke, this is the point of the episode where I can't get past. Coming from a guy who enjoys schadenfreude, laughter at the expense of others, I can't get a chuckle. To me, this is torture.
Exactly, it's just sad and hard to watch. I'm just face-hoofing as we see her scraping the bottom of the barrel in desperation, trying to regain her awesomeness status back.
But that's the thing, you were supposed to feel sad for her at this point because she's desperate. That's the whole thing here. It wasn't supposed to be funny, it was supposed to make you feel sad for Dashie.
Yeah, I kinda like this more serious tone. It's as if the story is taking elements from a comic book and placing them in certain places. Think about it. This scene is the serious aspect of the comic, while the earlier parts of the episode are like the light-hearted aspects of the comic. Well, that's my headcanon anyway.
Have I changed? Same sleek body, same flowing mane, same spectacular hooves. Nope, I'm still awesome. They're wrong. But why am I all alone? I hate being all alone.
Hold it. In my opinion, that's the turning point for this episode. It shows that Rainbow Dash's ego has popped and that she's coming back down to earth.
True, but did it have to be so forced?
How do you mean?
Was there any way to bring down Rainbow's ego without being malicious about it? I mean, look at Wonderbolt's Academy. That put Rainbow Dash in a situation where she had to bring her ego down in front of superiors. That's a believable situation and is taken seriously. Here, her ego's dropped to ground zero and it's taken way too seriously.
But in that episode, it wasn't Rainbow Dash who had the ego, it was Lightning Dust who had the ego. Rainbow could have had an ego in that episode, but she didn't, and I think that's mainly from what she learned here, not to get a big head.
I'll wait to respond to that a little later.
Once again, for as much as I dislike this episode, I have to give credit when a great element surfaces. This scene right here is not only the best character development scene in the episode, but also probably one of the best moments in the entire series. We've seen Rainbow Dash many previous times be brash and fearless, but not since Sonic Rainboom have we really delved deep into her psyche. Despite her brave persona, she actually is quite self-conscious. During the events of Sonic Rainboom, we see her mask of her stout nature diminish as she fears failing in her performance, fearing everyone's impressions of her if she fails. She's trying to hide her vulnerabilities of self-doubt as Rarity constantly steals the spotlight from Dash, and she sees everyone ignoring her. Her confidence wanes in her own abilities, and she fears everyone will ignore and abandon Dash if she fails. Here, Rainbow is losing her crowd, this time to Mare, feeling lost and alone. It's here we come to the critical part of her character development. She doesn't just want attention, she needs it. Not to fulfill some fantasy of hoarding as many friends as possible, but because she doesn't want to be alone. If there's no one to see her, then she feels like she doesn't matter. Rainbow's built up this reputation of being one of the best flyers in Equestria, and if she doesn't live up to that standard, then she feels she let herself and everyone down. This is such a great example of characterization that it's hard to believe it's such a poorly executed episode.
Whose side are you on?
Well, I stopped caring long ago. Defections all around.
Don't diss the ace analyst, Linkara wannabe.
So after that great moment, it all goes downhill as we come to the final confrontation with this town's favorite hero.
Rainbow Dash confronts mysterious Mare at her celebration.
Hold it. We now get to the last couple of scenes where we get a nice chase scene between Dash and the Mare Duel, which ends with Dash unmasking Pinkie Pie, and we get to the end where the remaining 5 tell Dash what they did and why. While normally telling the lesson ruins it, here I think it was partly needed, as I don't think Dash would have gotten it.
As M. Night Shyamalan would say, what a twist!
Objection! No, a million times no! Where the hell do I begin with this scene?
Speed lines are still cool!
Oh no, I know that tone.
First off, this is one of the most hypocritical messages I've ever seen.
Don't you want me to be a hero? Of course we want you to be a hero. But a real hero doesn't brag.
Pot called. Kettle says you're black.
Where does one even begin? Rainbow's friends once again are essentially mocking her as they're trying to tie in a lesson in humility about being a humble hero, as they are bragging about how much better they are being heroes compared to Dash, praising themselves and how great their performance was, all the while believing they're in the right. A lesson in humility through humiliation. Truly they are the best of friends.
Then what the hell is that bit in Sugar Cube Corner where you were complimenting yourselves? A real hero doesn't brag my ass.
Objection! While true, they were bragging in that scene, the difference is that they weren't doing it while someone was in danger, and they were doing it to deflate Rainbow's ego, which was the real problem here.
Neither was Rainbow when she was in Sugar Cube Corner the first time.
Celebrating your accomplishments is natural, but rubbing them in every pony's face is not.
Objection!
Are you going to be serious this time?
Yes, sir. Voice, they were only deflating the ego so that Dashi would understand the moral more. See, it's time like these where I wonder why you, Mr. Reason, always diss on certain episodes. Have you ever thought about talking more positively about anything?
Please refrain from bringing up pointless things like Mr. Voice's terrible views on some episodes. He can't help but be incompetent and not good looking as I am, with my glorious beard.
Well, I guess I could lose a few pounds and wait a minute! Anyways, responding to Brit, I seem to recall a particular lesson learned during Season 1. Take that!
Always expect the best from your friends, and never assume the worst. Rest assured that a good friend always has your best interests at heart.
Does the result of this episode seem like the best interest for Rainbow? Or does it feel like the most vindictive and backstabbing things a friend can do?
Hold it. While I can see what you mean about her friends backstabbing her, I again bring up that they did so to try and make her a better hero. Thus, they wanted the best interest for her.
And that's better how? Look, I know they're trying to bring Rainbow down a peg. I get that. and in some points they succeeded. But the way they came across it was so malicious. It's a point I cannot forgive this episode for doing.
Well, I am still going with the idea that this is a parody of a comic book structure, with light-hearted moments and somber moments. I understand what you two find faulty, but I still like this episode.
Well, during this moral delivery, we do address a good lesson that is basically swept under the rug during their soapbox time. There are those in various aspects of life, whether it be work, sports, or any team-related community event, where there is someone who is going to be better than you. It's an intimidating, relatable experience when dealing with one who is equal or can excel you. Yet if you're humble and realize that fact, knowing you have room for improvement to making yourself better. So, that was Mysterious Mare Duel. Great hero design, nice orchestral score, amazing characterization for Dash, but horrible pacing and story structure, dull humor and action, and that severely bad executed moral. It truly is one of the worst in the series. Whew, well, that was difficult, but we made it. You guys ready to head out?
Well, thanks a lot, you guys. It was nice to finally talk about this episode, and it was awesome to finally meet you, Voice, even though we were on opposite sides.
Yeah, even though I did flip-flop to your side twice. Now if the universe will let me finish my review of...
This was a lot of fun. Now please, send me back to my library.
Huh. Usually in these type of situations, usually something bad happens to me. But wow, nothing bad happened. That's a first.
Oh, come on!
Huh.
Ah, the classic Timmy stuck in the well glag, Dude!